name's Nina Jessen. I am the great-granddaughter of one of the co-founders, Heinrich Jessen, so that makes me a fourth-generation family member, and currently the younger family member of the fourth generation working for the group. In terms of my personal journey, it's been interesting in the sense that it hasn't been, it wasn't expected or planned in any way. It all happened very organically. So, I mean, if I'm to go way back and reflect on it, I think there were maybe a few seeds planted from when I was born, because I've spent most of my life in Southeast Asia. I was born in Denmark, and then when I was 2, we moved to Manila, Philippines, because my dad joined the family company. So from a very young age, I watched my father and indeed my grandfather work for the group from that point on, and we then shifted around Southeast Asia with my father, obviously. So the Philippines and Malaysia and now Singapore, and I've spent most of my life then in Singapore. I attended a school, United World College, which also was another seed that was planted, in my opinion, because it's a school with a whole movement to it. I mean, it's a movement about global concern, about playing a part, making a positive impact in the world for sustainability, ultimately. So I grew up, hearing about the Millennium Goals for sustainability, and then the SDGs, of course, the Sustainable Development Goals. And because I attended that school, it led me to study sustainable development in Edinburgh. So I did my master's degree in sustainable development. And from that point, after 4 years of doing that, and my career really then started, my dream came true when I was offered a job at the UN. So I moved to Geneva and spent a couple of years there, working first of all for the UN office of Geneva in communications. So because I studied the sociology of sustainable development, that led me into doing communications rather than sort of the more technical parts of sustainability. I worked for the UN office for a while, and then at another agency called the International Trade Center, which is also a UN agency, working, supporting women-led businesses. And so it was interesting that I then got that was my relation, my glimpse into business, even though I had never studied business. And obviously through the lens of female entrepreneurs was very inspiring. And then at a certain point, conversations with my uncle, Heinrich Jessen, our chairman, began about options in the family business. And it was then, I think my education and my work at the UN then lent itself nicely, which was lucky for me, it lent itself nicely to doing what I do now for the group, which is sustainability and corporate communications. Primarily, I'm part of the corporate communications team, and within that, I'm responsible for all the PR activities that we do on a group level, at the corporate level. And in that also, we don't have a sustainability team per se, but with my experience, I sort of have come to be part of our sustainability initiatives as sustainability becomes more of the daily strategic thinking, not just a side, let's say, a CSR activity that we do once a year kind of thing, and that's it. It's more about, it's really coming into everything that we do, and how we communicate ourselves and think.